All right, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about the one thing that can take an okay essay and make it an absolutely incredible one. We're diving into the power of evidence and how you can use it to build arguments that are just unforgettable.
You know that feeling, right? You've spent hours writing, you've laid out all your points, but when you read it back, it just feels a little flimsy, like a strong gust of wind could knock the whole thing over. Well, we are going to fix that, for good.
Okay, check this out. This is the whole idea in a nutshell. On the left, I really want a pet. That's just an opinion. It's a feeling. But on the right, that's an argument. It's backed by a source. It's got specific benefits. This is the huge difference between just saying something and actually proving it.
So let's just get straight to the point. The number one reason an argument feels weak is because it's missing proof. I mean, without solid evidence, you're really just telling the reader your opinion. And in an essay, that's just not going to cut it.
This is where supporting evidence comes in. Think of it like the foundation of a house. It's the concrete and the steel beams holding your whole argument up. It's you showing your reader, hey, listen, I didn't just make this up. I've done my homework, and here's the proof.
So what does this proof actually look like? Well, the cool thing is you have a whole toolkit you can use. Let's open it up and look at the 4 main types of evidence that'll help you build a totally rock-solid argument.
First up, you've got facts and statistics. These are your hard numbers, your data. Things like 73% of students. You get the idea. Then there are direct quotes, using the exact words from a source. After that, you've got examples and anecdotes, little stories that make your point real and relatable. And finally, expert opinions, where you bring in a heavy hitter to back you up.
Okay, you ready for a technique that is going to immediately level up your writing? It's called the quote sandwich. And honestly, it is the secret weapon for weaving evidence into your paragraphs perfectly every single time.
It is exactly as simple as it sounds. 3 layers. You've got the top bun, which is your introduction, you've got the filling, which is the actual quote or fact, and you've got the bottom bun, which is your explanation. And remember, you never just serve the filling all by itself.
So, step 1, the top bun. This is where you set the stage. You have to introduce your evidence. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't just bring a total stranger into a room and expect everyone to know who they are, right? Same thing here. You got to tell your reader who's talking and why their words matter.
Next up is the filling, the good stuff. This is the actual quote or statistic. Now, the key here is to be picky. Don't just drop in a huge long paragraph from your source. Find the most powerful, most relevant sentence or two and use that. Keep it sharp. All right, and now for the most important part of the whole sandwich, the bottom bun. This is where you come in. This is your analysis. You have to connect the dots for the reader. Tell them, in your own words, what that evidence means and exactly how it proves the point you're trying to make.
Let's look at a perfect example. See how it starts? It introduces the context. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. That's your top bun. Then bam, you get the powerful quote itself. That's the filling. And then it finishes with the explanation, the analysis of what that quote means in the bigger picture. That's your bottom bun. Perfect.
And here is a pro tip that every teacher wishes their students knew. Your explanation, that bottom bun, should almost always be longer than the quote itself. Why? Because the evidence is just there to support your ideas. The analysis is where you show you're actually thinking, and that's where you score all the points.
So now you know how to build the sandwich, but what do you put inside it? How do you pick the best evidence? Because trust me, not all proof is created equal. It really pays to be selective. Here's a super simple checklist you can use. Just ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, is it relevant? Does it actually support the specific point you are making right now? Number 2, is it credible? Is this from a real expert or a respected source? And number 3, is it specific? Give me numbers and details, not just vague statements. I mean, just look at the difference here. Many students is so vague it's almost meaningless. But 73% of high school students, according to a CDC study, wow, now that is powerful. It's specific, it's credible, and it's basically impossible to argue with. That's what you're aiming for. Okay, finally, let's talk about the common mistakes everybody makes. But here's the great news. Once you know what they are so easy to spot and avoid. And fixing them will make your writing about 10 times stronger overnight.
The number 1 mistake, and it's not even close, is the dropped quote. This is when a quote just appears in a paragraph out of nowhere. No introduction, no explanation. It's like the filling of the sandwich with no bread. It just leaves your reader confused and your argument hanging.
And this slide shows you exactly how to fix it. The weak example on the left just plops the statistic in there. But look at the strong example on the right. It's a full quote sandwich. It introduces the source, gives the data, and then would go on to explain it. See the difference? It's night and day.
Some other quick traps to watch out for. Quotes that are just way too long? Remember, be concise. Evidence that's kind of interesting but totally irrelevant to your actual point. And of course, the classic mistake of giving a great quote and then just moving on without explaining why it matters.
Look, if you take away only one thing from all this, please let it be this right here. This is the big secret. Anyone can go find a quote online, but your ability to explain it, to analyze it, to connect it to your big idea, that's what shows real thinking. Your analysis is where the magic really happens.
At the end of the day, using evidence isn't just about checking a box for your assignment. It's about building a case that is so compelling, so well supported, that your reader has no choice but to be convinced. So you have the secret weapon now. The only question is, what are you going to do with it? How will you make your next argument completely impossible to ignore?